Sophisticated Ignorance. I like your shirt.
How? Oh.
I don't know what the bottom part says, but
It says, don't have sex with a guy who won't eat you out first.
very specific and very on brand.
Oh, I was on FaceTime with my mother today. I was like, I hope she doesn't ask what's on the shirt.
I think she did.
No, she did it. I
Wow.
promise. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's okay. It's a dope shirt, though. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this party started. Welcome to Sophisticated Ignorance. I am the one and only Vixon J.
And I'm Rovie A.
How are we doing today, Rove? I know we just were talking about it being a long week. It's been quite the...
I feel like it's been a long week since 2020. Ooh, I was supposed to say that, right?
It's okay. It's fine.
Uh,
The time of my animosity towards last year has passed. So you could say the word 2020 and I won't be triggered or I won't be like, shit.
yeah. But
just
2021 is acting like the worst little sister ever.
It's acting stupid.
Very.
Well, you know, it's because, I mean, as I was saying in episodes before, it's like the bullshit just rolls over into the next year. Bullshit never stops. It never ends. It just gets transferred to different points in time. But for the most part, yeah, this week in particular, you know what? Let's quickly go over our word of the week, and then we'll dive into the week in review. Sweet baby Jesus, this week was fucking a lot. But yeah, what would be one word that describes your week, Rove? Heavy Negro spiritual sigh.
What's another word for long? Tedious, treacherous.
Okay.
Not grand. Well, it was a long week, just long.
So the word is long.
Yeah, and I usually like that word too, but
right.
Not in this context. No.
In this case, it was long. It was hard.
All right, you're going somewhere else.
A little girthy. A little bit.
You definitely took it there because I don't know where you're trying to go, but it felt like Earth was spinning extra slow this week. The days were actually, you know what? I'm lying. It was long, but I didn't know what day it was. Somebody told me it was Tuesday. I thought yesterday was Saturday.
Yikes.
It was just a lot going on in my head, just, trying to get things done because, the work never stops.
The work never ends. You're absolutely right. Well, you've made it. So here we are,
I'm happy every day, you got to outweigh the long days and just be happy that you made it through the other side.
Every day is a winding road, to quote one of my favorite songs. I'm not going to sing it because, we'll say that for another day. But every day is a winding road.
You try to leave little breadcrumbs and you never give the people what they want. They want to hear you sing. So
I have not had a consensus of hearing that. So I'm just going to go with the default of nobody wants to hear me sing until
it's in the comments.
There's no comments. There's 0 comments on me singing. So I guess until someone does comment, I will reserve it for special times.
I'll be the first.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Next on Sophisticated Idol. Or ignorant. Ignorant Idol. Oh shit. Trademark. We should invite fans onto the show to sing, and whoever is the best, oh baby, prizes.
Do a duets too.
Duets. No,
I'm here for it.
All right, well, set it up. I'm pretty sure you can find some nice voices. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Either way, my word is busy. My word is busy. This week was a busy week. It was just back to back projects, back to back work. Everything was just back to back. And I think what it was is that I was trying my best to get through all of my work for the week so I could just relax. But it just felt like after I was finished one thing, then another thing was on my plate. Then I finished one thing, then another thing was on my plate. And it was just like, yo, I'm starting to feel that, pre-COVID BC booked and busy feeling. And a part of me likes it, but another part of me is just like, I need to balance my time.
Right.
I'm currently working on a project that's very extensive, and as much as it is a labor of love, and the thing is, I like working on these type of projects and seeing the satisfaction on the people's face when it all comes together and me helping to bring that vision to life. But it is so labor intensive, and I know now. Granted, I should have known before, but I know now especially that I need to really take those projects like, few and far in between. Especially if the project is like very extensive. So it's always a constant lesson. I need to start, as you were telling me the other day, saying stuff like no and I can't.
Oh, that's my favorite word.
Oh, we all know.
What's your favorite word? That's where you're supposed to come in with the duets. Wow.
What were you singing? What was that?
Wow. You don't know nothing about Too Short? Come on.
I don't. Oh, okay. I see.
Oh my
See, but
God.
when you were yelling it didn't sound like Too Short, so I couldn't.
Of course, because it's me.
Right.
How can I sound like someone?
So I couldn't really put the
You're
two
doing too
together.
much. You're doing too much. Yeah.
I think you were doing too much.
You're doing too much. Oh.
I think you were being a little extra.
I don't think you're able to handle the capacity of being a part of a duet. So.
Well, impromptu duet, yes, I can't handle that.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Okay, fine, fair enough. I'll try to catch. I'm not a music file like you. I can't catch all these references.
You are a video file.
I said music file, not a video file.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I said you are. I made an absolute statement
about something that wasn't related to what we were.
I'm just trying to let you know that I can control how you receive things.
Cool. We're just gonna move forward because
I'm just joshing you.
I know it's definitely the joshing is needed because once again this week was busy and it was a lot, and so yeah. Thankfully, I got all these assignments done. Next week is
that's good.
And new bullshit will be on the horizon, but for now my plate is empty, thank goodness.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so
that's really nice. I wish I was empty. I think I'm just gonna disappear for like a couple of weeks and not just say anything.
So you're gonna ghost everyone?
Yeah,
you're gonna ghost the world?
Yeah, no, because if you tell people, oh, I want to take a week off, then they think that your time is their availability. So I'm just gonna get off the grid.
Just gonna poof.
Yeah. Okay. Deuces, call me Casper.
Casper's a ghost.
Yes. Okay. Right. I hope you got it. You got it, right?
A ghost, a spirit, whatever you want to call it. Of course I got it. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm just making sure because
I don't want
you didn't catch the duet, so.
Oh my! Don't do that. All right. I'm just saying I don't want you to be a literal spirit, but that's fine. I get what you're saying.
Aww. Yeah.
Come on. Anyway. So yeah, so that's the weeks. Well, I mean, this past week also was a lot, and you know what? I wanted to talk about what happened this past week with the Derek Chauvin case and all that stuff, but it's just it feels like every week we're talking about some very fucked up shit.
Yep.
And I am tired. Like the fucked up shit was supposed to end in 2020, realistically. It just seems like it's 2020 the remix, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, and 2021 is dropping more beats, it's dropping more fucking shit. So it's just like, come on, son. Like
the year is legal now, so you gotta buck out.
Well, the year needs to drink some water because it is wilding out in the streets. I think 2021 took like a fucking pint of Henny mixed with Casamigos and called
You
it.
ever had Devil Springs? Devil Springs.
You know
Yeah.
what? Funny enough, I've never had all those like super college high octane drinks. Like I've never had
Wow.
Devil Springs. I never had
You didn't
Everclear.
have a good time. I
No,
had all of that.
I had a good time because I was alive because my liver was intact.
So I'm alive.
The
My liver
hardest.
function tests are well and they're within normal limits.
Are you sure?
Wow. Okay.
The hardest thing I drank in college was the 99 line of vodkas, like the 99 bananas, the 99 apples. That's like the hardest thing I drank in college. Other than that, oh yeah, Bacardi 151. Cool. But that's like the hardest things I drank back then. I was not trying to drink no fucking, paint thinner and freaking lose my vision. I didn't have the time.
So you're just gonna just judge people who do and
I'm not judging. Whoa, I'm not judging anyone. First of all, I drank Four Loko, so if anyone's gonna judge, they're gonna judge me because I put that poison in my body. So I'm not here to judge anyone.
If you could drink, what was it? If you could drink Tropical Fantasy when you were 11, you good for any type of alcohol in the near future because it changed it rearranged your genetic code. You think Tropical Fantasy did not? Come on. They got something in there.
All the juices, Kool-Aid was fucking up our DNA. What are you talking about?
Not Kool-Aid. It's the Tropical Fantasy 2 for $1 joints. Those joints.
We were drinking concentrated dyes.
So you were good to go and drink all kinds of gasoline fluids.
If the Tropical Fantasy didn't do anything to you, the quarter waters sure did. And first of all, there weren't water. So why?
First of all, I love those joints.
I bet you did.
I was like, Mom, I'm not drinking anything but that, and it had to be blue.
I bet you had the blues and the reds and the yellow 19s. Good job.
It made your childhood.
Your gallbladder must be doing a dance.
All right, so I'm just not going to talk because my health is like on the table today.
No. You got it. You good. You Gucci. I'm just saying. Let's not throw glasses at.
I'm trying to wonder who's the doctor here because you've been. Ooh.
Wow. Really? Don't do that. That's offensive.
Dr. Vix. That's actually a cool name. I actually really
Dr. Vix.
Dr. Vix.
I don't know about that. I would have to I don't. My dad back in the day, he wanted me to get into the doctorate field, and just wasn't my thing.
How? Why?
Because I wasn't interested in it.
Oh, okay. What
other answer is there?
No, I don't know, because I was interested in it, and I feel like I want other people to share that same passion that I have for certain things, but that'll just be me imposing my ideas on stuff. I wouldn't tell my kids to go into medicine, though. I'll just let them. I prefer if they don't.
Their own preference of what they want to do in their lives, like every other parent should.
No, they don't, though, because I think a lot of kids, and even when I went to medical school, I felt like they didn't even want to be there. They were there because their parents were like affluent doctors. And I'm like, why would you want to take care of somebody and you're not even 100% there for their health? Because when people come in and they have all kind of debilitating diseases, they're not there to help themselves 100%. You got to be the doctor to push them over and encourage them. So half and half, it doesn't make a whole in that aspect,
You also have to factor in, even outside of just the technical aspects of not being prepped to be a doctor, you also have to consider potential cultural circumstances where certain people are being pressured into the profession based on their parents and how they respond or their relationship. You also have to consider, like, if somebody has a feeling that they haven't been accomplished and now their parents are driving them to do something, they just pick up a career just for the sake of. They're not doing it for them, they're doing it for other people. So there's all these factors that come into people entering these professions and not being prepared for them because they really don't want to do it. It's just like, oh, I just want my parents off my ass. And now you literally have to operate on someone's ass, and now you can't because you weren't really there to be the doctor. You were just there just for the recognition to say, hey, look, y'all, I got a job. Leave me alone.
Yep.
and that's even more dangerous. So there we are. Thankfully, I didn't fall into that pressure, and I was like, Dad, Pops, I'm not becoming a doctor, nor do I want to enter the board of ed. And granted, these are not bad professions.
The
It just
board
wasn't
of
for me.
ed. He
Oh
wanted you to
my
be a
gosh.
teacher.
He wanted, no, I mean,
Aww.
but see, I mean, in that regard, it was less about being a teacher. It was just more about finding a stable job, right? Considering our generation of our parents, they came to this country and all they were looking for was stable positions. So they're finding city jobs, they're finding all these things that are guaranteed pay, guaranteed, pension and all these things. Like that was their goal for coming here. They didn't have the opportunity, or they didn't have the luxury to say explore something that they really wanted to do and go for it, right? Because they have to worry about taking care of their families and all these things. So I completely understand where my dad was coming from, but for me, it was like, yeah, I'm not interested in this. I don't want to go to school for this. I'm not trying to go to school for multiple years for this profession. I just want to get into what I want to get into and excel. So, as I said, all these different factors come into play.
Yep.
But outside of that tangent, yes. So, what happened this week with the Derek Chauvin case? As you all probably know by now, he was found guilty for all 3 charges of him murdering George Floyd. But in the same fucking day, even before we get to that. So, I mean, my personal reaction to the verdict is that, okay, great, guilty. We all knew this. Like, I mean, at this point, it's like, all right, it's a given. We all saw the tape.
Was it a given? Was it a good? That's why everybody watched. Was it a given?
It should have been a given.
It should have been, yes.
Well, in the court of law, it had to be proven, blah, blah, bullshit. Who cares? Fuck all that. The point is, we all saw the shit. He's guilty. That's it. That's all we need to know. That's period. Anyway.
Alexa, play Locked Up.
Yeah, don't actually play Locked Up, because I'm just saying. don't actually play these things. No, but yeah, so all right, we already found that out, right? Guilty, right? My thing is like, okay, great, guilty. Everyone is arguing between accountability, justice. Oh, it's not justice, it's this and that. Either way, the answer is this person that we've all witnessed through videotape, murdering this man has been charged guilty for his crimes. So hashtag that. Those are the facts. So yeah, I mean, at this point, we're all waiting for the sentencing period and to find out exactly if the sentence will fit the crime. Because historically, these cops have, if anything, been found guilty, and then the fucking charge is like, all right, 90 days in jail, and all right, slap on the wrist in your job or some bullshit, and now they're back out policing. So, I mean, if the sentence comes out a different way, to where this person's actually getting a harsh sentence for what they did, that's completely going to change the tide of how we view the police and how that level of accountability actually goes to the courts. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to see down the line. Now, unfortunately, in that same fucking day that we get that verdict, we now have this 16-year-old girl getting shot down by another police officer in another part or another place. And it's like, her name is Ma'Khia Bryant. And that the argument online and seeing people like try to justify or anything, it's completely disgusting. For all those people.
And it was a lot of Black folks trying to.
Of course, it's fucking Black folks. Oh my God, I hate nigras. I hate them so much because I don't care about the optics, right? We all saw, well, unfortunately, I stumbled upon the video. I didn't want to. I didn't know what was happening. It was all happening very quickly. And then I feel like I accidentally saw it, and it was like, fuck, now I can't get the shit out of my head. But based off of what I saw, and mind you, that was just one angle of many, but either way, the argument of, oh, this young girl had a knife in her hand, she would have killed somebody, the cop did. Fuck all that noise.
Come on.
I don't care.
Come on.
The girl could have a fucking feather in her head. I don't give a fuck. The answer is that cop did not need to do that. She should have been alive. Period. I don't give a fuck what she was doing. I
don't understand like the whole concept behind trying to defend. the police department saying, "Oh well, no, she could have killed someone." That makes absolutely no sense, and especially the reason why she called the cop was to protect herself.
The
And catch
irony,
22, you know,
the fucking irony of it all is that you, as a black person in this country,
still can't
feels
be
that
protected.
you can't be protected by the people who are sworn to protect and serve. That's their own fucking motto, which is bullshit in itself. But now it's like you're in an altercation. You're calling the cops for protection. The cops come and see you as a threat and now shoot you. What is the point? Why? See, and I was thinking about that in my head. It's like, all right, first of all these police are waste men. And second, if anything, we need to start policing our own communities. This, and someone actually, another person that I know online, a friend of mine, she actually brought up a good point. Where were the adults in the situation? Where were the adults at? And why, if anything, if they were present, why were they just watching shit go down? Where is, and I'm not here to like blame anyone to say like, oh, a specific person should have done something better or different. It's just the fact that like the police should have never been introduced to that situation. I honestly don't think anyone would have been killed in that altercation, right? Despite the presence of a knife or not. I just feel like the police should be like the last alternative or the last resort in these type of situations, because if the people in that area, if they could just focus less on picking up their phones and capturing the shit happening and actually trying to de-escalate it themselves, this girl would have been alive. And that is my hard stance, but that's what it is. If the adults have taken the responsibility to say, all right, these people are fighting, instead of fucking putting up my phone and yelling "Wool Star" or some bullshit. I don't know if people still do that. Doesn't matter. But
that's what they were kind of doing.
But I mean, right. So you see altercation. Most people's reaction is to pick up their phone and start recording. But especially in that case where it's like, all right, I can sit here and record, or I can stop the shit from escalating, and now the cops still have to get involved, even if someone called them or not, right? Because I'm pretty sure somebody watching that may have called the cops. But unfortunately, that young lady thought, or she felt like she was in danger, so she called the cops in the sense of like, hey, cops are going to come here and de-escalate the shit because I'm in danger. And the fucking irony is that she got shot. So it's like, where was the responsibility of those who could have stepped in and said, hey, y'all stop fighting, y'all don't do this, whatever. And it's just enraging. It's enraging because all of this shit could have been avoided.
Yeah, it could have been avoided. I feel like even so, the cops in itself, they don't have to do anything to get their jobs. I feel at this, where are we, 2021? Cops should require the same amount of education and training as someone who is going to get their law degree. Because I'm sure the cops don't know the law until they break it themselves. You know what I mean? Like, how? Yeah, come on.
I think cops are fully aware of the laws enough to know that something is very illegal. Like, you don't.
The cops back in the day, the sheriffs in the motherfucking towns back in the day always did something else instead of just coming out and trying to like blaze out with an AK-47, like they in the military doing warfare in the middle of a block. They were in a freaking desert trying to de-escalate shit. You telling me cops in 2021 can't do the same shit? I saw a tweet that said, how can a 24-hour McDonald's de-escalate a situation and a cop can't? And they were like, because their employees get fired. They know that they can do shit and get away with it.
Right, because they feel like they're above the law. So in essence, if you feel like you're above the law, or this structure, the system puts you in a position where you are treated as above the law, you don't have to give a fuck about any laws. Because once again, that level of accountability is not even like, example, fucking the Chauvin guy in the courthouse. You saw how shocked he looked when the guilty,
the eyes,
the face, his face.
He was like, did they really just?
His face screamed, wait a minute, y'all meant not guilty. Like y'all meant psych, right? Like not really guilty. Like you meant.
They better not put him in Gen Pop because that's it for his ass.
Yes, literally. I want that to be it for his ass. I want that to be it. I want it to be over. Yo, son, I was just thinking earlier, like, yo, I want this nigga to be under the jail, around the jail, on top of the jail. I just want him
All
locked.
I thought about was like Oz, and they just go.
Yo, I forgot about that show. That show was wild.
That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, they are going to.
I want him to get the Oz treatment, big Oz treatment. Oh, do not put him in solitary. Do not let him pass go.
He's going to do something. He's going to do something to get himself in solitary. He's going to claim site. Whatever strategic moves his attorneys or whatever is going to give him.
He can play the range. He can play whatever he wants. Hey, in some cases, some people kill themselves. Well, the trash takes out itself. Either way, the point being is just that these cops, you know, I don't know how it could work, or I don't know how it could actually be implemented or enforced or anything. But I think when it comes to these situations, especially us as a people, as Black people, when we see some type of fight escalating, it's natural for most of us to be on some not my problem, stepping out of it. I'm just going to record the shit and it will go viral. But we really need to put down the phones, and we need to step in somehow, some way. If it's not just one of us, multiple of us, and break that shit up. Because even if nobody did call the cops, right? Even if nobody called the cops, and somehow, let's say the cops were just strolling by and seeing this happen, right? Who knows if the same result could have happened, or the same result would have ended up. It's just so hard to think about. And I'm really sorry for the Bryant family, you know, going through this. You know, as I said, that Tuesday was just such a mixed bag of events that went on, you know, because in one part of the country, people are celebrating this victory, quote unquote. And then in another part of the country, someone is mourning a loss of a very similar, like, police brutality incident. And it's just so disparaging.
It's the same story. Yeah.
And it's just like, at that point, you have to realize that, you know, we never really get a reprieve of these things. And that's the shitty part.
Yep.
But all that to say, we actually have a topic today. It's talking about coping mechanisms. Rove, would you like to just explain why this? I mean, full transparency, you came up with the topic, so I just want to put it out there. But talk about why that was kind of on your head, and it kind of ties into what we're talking about, and just in general as we kind of go through these weeks and see these images. Like, why do you feel that coping mechanisms for us now is more important than ever?
We're living through it every day. Like, it's like having a wound. How can you heal from something that's always occurring? If it's not this year, it's next year. If it's not this week, it's next week. Next month, somebody's going to get shot. Somebody's going to get murdered. Somebody's going to get choked to death. Somebody's going to get stopped at a stop sign and get shot at. Somebody's going to go try to get food from coming off of work late and they're going to get shot. Like, this is everyday people, your brother, your sister, your mother, your aunt, whoever it is. Every day we are going through the same things, and we still haven't had enough time to cope from the past to move on. So how can we heal if this is always going on? You know what I mean? And I don't feel like we can until we talk about, you know, some coping strategies, especially in today's climate, you know, to deal with ourselves and people around us.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something that we need to talk about. Healing is hard, you know, healing is hard in itself. Just the basic foundation of healing, and maybe being able to cope is something that can help us just like move on and, you know, find some kind of peace until we, you know, there is peace. Who knows? Honestly, but it has to be some kind of level ground, because I can't go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow and hear that somebody else is murdered at the hands of the police again. The same story every day.
Right.
Like, how many names have to be rest in peace before, you know, a change happens?
Yeah.
Come on, we're in 2021.
Well, funny enough,
same stuff Martin Luther King's preaching about, we're still talking about. It's the same thing. Nothing has been changed. Just the clothes.
Mood. And things are in color now. So But nonetheless, we actually talked about this last year. Shout outs to Keisha. She was the guest on the show at the time, but we did talk about coping mechanisms, and this was around the time that all the things were happening last year, right? So it was very fresh, after the George Floyd incident and other things that were going on, and we had a conversation about like mental health and how to cope with these things and how to work through it because it was heavy, and the main consensus of that episode, or just what we were talking about, is that it's okay not to be okay, right? And I think we do, some of us do our best to like push down these emotions and push down feelings, because outside of all these external forces that are like coming at us, especially now under a pandemic where we don't really have a means of escape as much as we used to, right? So we have all these outside things coming at us, and then on top of that we have to deal with our own shit in our own lives. So it's just a double whammy, right? We can't go out as we used to, in the sense of like escape. And I'm gonna grant that some people are jet setting, not to say any names, but it's fine. Some people are jet setting, and fine by me. Hashtag just be safe. So that's what that is. But it's really hard to escape from these things. And granted, the question is, should we escape or should we face it, so we can really have that level of accountability and say, all right, something needs to be done. But it's very overwhelming. How do you topple a whole system that has been in place for however much years and has evolved throughout time? And obviously one person can't do that, but collectively, right, as a culture, as a people, how do we face this thing, or how do we like charge it forward? Now, for example, the guy, I think we talked about it, the guy that pushed that black boy walking down the street, right? That officer, that military officer, whoever he was. Now, he went to that black guy and bothered him out of nowhere, and he met him with violence. The reaction to that is that all those people went to that nigga's front lawn and said, come on out, we ain't gonna jump you. I love that. We just want to talk. We just want to talk. We ain't gonna jump you.
We just want to talk. Just come for a little bit.
Love the energy. And see, the thing is that we have time for this now. Black people have time for the bullshit. So all these Karens, all these Bens, all these motherfuckers that want to come at us with some wild energy, we are coming back full fold. And that is a picture I love to see every single time. Because we're tired. We are tired. We don't have the time for the bullshit anymore. We don't have time for racist, Derek down the street to be fucking calling us the N-word out of nowhere. Now I'm coming to your face. Now we're having an altercation. I'm fighting you with my hands, because I don't have the time to be like, our grandpappies in the past to be on some, we gotta be better and
that young black man had every right to lay hands on him, and he had more restraint than any police officers that I've seen in the past.
But now, but you also have to look at the context though. It's like, in essence, yes, that young man could have started scrapping with him. First of all, it was being recorded. So who knows if the wife of that guy would have used that as evidence to say like, oh, my husband was assaulted. And
that was the kicker, that she recorded the freaking video.
Right. Yes, she was recording the video. If anything, heaven forbid, like, let's say if the gentleman would have, attacked the white guy, she could have used that as evidence for the police to say like, hey, my husband was assaulted. I have it on video. And now who knows what could have happened, right? It's especially in this day and age where technology is a thing and anything could go viral. I just saw a clip recently with the same case, this same Ma'Khia Bryant case, where somebody was talking to an officer about, I guess they were in
I saw that.
And he was telling the guy, oh, so you're gonna shoot me like y'all did Ma'Khia? And he was like, oh, you're gonna have a knife in your hand like she did or some bullshit. And it's just the boldness for me, first of all. And then on top of that, brother? Of course, I think he was. I believe that he was a brother. But either way, Rovie, it doesn't matter. The point is that it's just the boldness of people these days. People don't care. And as a result, now people are getting fucking froggy. And
you hit it on the nail.
We are being cultivated with all these images and all these responses in a fucking, in what do they call it? In a powder keg. And at some point we're gonna fucking explode. And they're not gonna like
Yeah.
it. I just, it's just a lot.
It is.
So to your question of coping strategies to, I mean, as I said,
The thing is, the turnaround is just too much. We don't even have time to cope or heal. Like it's like bam, bam, bam. It's an unhealed, non-healing wound that just won't have time to develop and build a thick skin to protect itself. We can't even do that because it just keeps cutting and digging and just making it even worse and just
and once again,
festering.
ladies and gentlemen, or whoever or however you identify, please stop sharing these videos. Please stop. I don't want to see them. Don't want to see the images. Don't want to see pictures. Please stop. You're not doing any favors. You're not doing anybody anything by sharing these videos. Please don't do it. I'm tired. It's too much. I feel horrendous for even watching that video go down. Don't like it. It's seared in my brain. You know what I mean? And I don't need to have that on my spirit. Stop fucking sharing it. No, thank you.
We're desensitized to things now. Like everything's just happening so fast. It like kids shouldn't even be watching other children dying on the screen. Like this is our new norm. Like, and it's unacceptable.
And then imagine parents having to explain to their kids what's going on. Oh, and another fucking thing. So, some of the news reports were identifying Ma'Khia as a young woman, right? And actually, a friend of mine, she is a diversity and inclusion consultant. She came up with an article, or she wrote an article about the adultification of young children in Black communities. And I thought that shit was like so pertinent. And some of the things that she says here is that examining patterns of police treatment towards Black youth highlights a prominent issue, the adultification bias, which is the phenomenon where adults perceive Black youth as being older than they actually are. And this shit is so true. She also says, when the adultification bias was examined, one study found that Black girls as young as 5 years old were perceived as being less needing of protection and nurturing compared to their white counterparts. Research indicates that Black boys are perceived as older and less innocent when compared to their white counterparts. Quote unquote, Black boys can be seen as responsible for their actions at an age when white boys still benefit from the assumptions that children are essentially innocent. Disrupting the adultification bias must first begin with awareness that this problem even exists. Training about the adultification bias should be mandatory, especially for folks working with and around Black youth populations. It's just,
we kind of touched on that too when we were talking about in a prior episode, right? With the Black woman and how people are perceiving young Black women as a more maternal role and older in that aspect, and see how it just transcends over into now. And they're making Ma'Khia older than she really is. Like she wasn't what did they say? Young woman,
a young
adult
woman or whatever.
She's a kid. She's a kid.
She's definitely a kid. And regardless of what age she is, she's still a child. And I just don't like the fact that she was identified that way. And it just strips away the level of accountability for others identifying her that way, because now it's like, all right, if we say one young girl, it seems, so like, treacherous. But if you say young woman, now it throws in a whole weight of accountability that she should have been aware of to be in that situation. Fucking disgusting. I'm just tired of all the whites. I'm tired of all the bullshit. I'm just tired. All of them just need to fucking quit. Go jump on a fucking SpaceX flight and go to Mars or Jupiter. Or you know what? Just go to the sun. I think all the whites just need a one-class trip to the sun. Poof, gone, done. The world will be a better place. And I know I just promoted a whole level of genocide, but at the same time, it's just a lot to deal with.
Keep bringing the PTSD. Just come.
It's just too much, man. Like, because I don't know what else to do. It's just
like serious. Yeah, you don't know what else to do.
and
And
also
at
when I
this
say the
point,
whites, I say
you
the
want to like,
problematic whites, not all whites, but mainly the problematic ones. Just send them to the
but
sun.
it's their fault. They threw the first. What is it? Ball, snowball, whatever. They threw first.
Stone
Yeah, whatever. They threw it. So we got to throw it back. So and we haven't. We've just been real compliant, and I don't like that shit.
or
But
real
you can't do
complacent.
like you can't do what you call it. You can't beget violence with violence. And I get that.
Allegedly.
All right.
Allegedly.
You want to be an Oz too, huh?
Excuse, I don't want to be an ass. Nope. I do not.
You
I saw
can't.
the show. I don't want that for myself. Thank you so much.
No, but if I don't even want to think about that, but let's say there was a real I feel like we're just building up to this big race war that's gonna come. It's gonna come down
Ooh.
to it.
What
It's
side
gonna
is
come down to it.
what is your role in the race war, my dear?
And it's gonna be scary as fuck.
Scary as fuck. The race war is technically happening, is just simmering. It's a big simmer.
Yeah, it hasn't boiled over yet. We didn't get the what is it? The army tank trucks coming in through towns, knocking
Well,
over
we,
shit.
we we
Like,
unfortunately got a little bit of that last year with what happened in Minnesota. We got a little bit of that last year, which was a lot, but
no, on the black people's end.
sure, yeah, okay.
We
I
don't
don't know.
we got to bring in our artillery. That's what I'm saying. It's going to come down to that. Like, it's just going to be people. They're going to be hijacking shit from people. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be. I don't want to say that, but I feel like that's going to happen soon. Hopefully, like, it doesn't come to it, but every battle that happened in our like whatever world history always has to come down to some kind of massacre.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that these younger kids are not calling the race war lit. I just hope that's not their response or their reaction to it. Like, yo, this war is lit, yo. Like, that's not. We don't need that type of
That'll be
response.
so sad if that happens. Oh my god.
Like, yo, no cap, yo, this race war, yo, it's the wave. Like, I don't know all the lingo, but oh, I sounded big old just now.
You
That's
have
not the
to.
point.
Hold on, tangent. You have to come to terms that we are old. You and
No,
I
no,
are old.
older than.
Okay, all right.
The
Let's
O
get back on
word, we
track.
don't we
Forget
don't
it.
use the O word around here, okay?
I'm okay with being old. It gets greater later, like
Then
wine.
good luck with that. Good luck with that old stuff. For me,
All right.
I'm older than, I'm not old. I'm young in spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Amen. All right. So moving on. Yeah, no, coping for sure is a very hard thing to do these days, especially when things are happening back to back. So we just encourage everyone here, for the most part, just do your best to. I, when I feel very stressed, I tend to kind of just step back. I don't talk to much people. I'm not good at reaching out. Vice versa. If someone reaches out to me, of course I'll respond, but I'm not good at reaching out if I'm like feeling very stressed or overwhelmed. I know I can do better with that, but for the most part, I'm just not. And especially in the solitude that I have in my space, I just feel like it's very easy for me to just close the doors of communication and interaction and just be like, oh, I'm just in my bubble of solitude where I'm safe, nothing can harm me, and I don't have to worry about the outside world and the shenanigans. I don't know if that's coping or just avoiding, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, journaling helps. I did journal recently, so that is certainly a thing. But I haven't journaled about all this racial turmoil that's been going on. But yeah, journaling, talking to someone, uh, engaging in an activity that's not stressful. All those things are coping strategies. You know,
Yeah.
and it kind of goes back to the black trauma that we were talking about. You know, we want a level of escape from these things, right? Because media trying to serve it to us on a silver platter is not. It's just too, like I saw this thing on Twitter. I think there was some game developer, and I don't know if this was like some game developer, I think it was a black guy, a game developer created like a first person scenario where a black man and his son were like driving a car and they were stopped by the police and it was supposed to be like a simulation situation. And
No, he didn't.
he did. And the whole point of the game, or it wasn't like an official game, but like it was a game in the sense of like, you could follow the prompts or whatever. And the whole point is for, I guess he wanted people to feel how it would be like to be in that situation and empathize or cope. Bullshit. Don't want it. Destroy it.
Wait a minute. You telling me this is a video game blackface? I am done.
You'd be surprised that people just do shit and not even think about the ramifications. They don't think about the implications of what they're doing. They just think, oh, I'm going to do this thing because, it makes sense, or, I'm trying to make a point or drive a narrative. And no, you're just fucking triggering people. Nobody wants it. Nobody asks for it. No, thank you. Put it back in the drafts.
How did
we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here, Rove. That's the answer. Nobody's supposed to fucking be here.
I'm not doing this with you.
Yo, it's just stressful, son. It's stressful. And I really, I feel for everybody who's kind of like really internalizing these things, because at a certain point is, and I talked about it in episodes before, enough is enough. But then when is the enough for the enough? I don't know where it ends. And I'm tired. And this is why I stay inside for the most part. I play my video games. I drink my liquor, or I take a sip or two. I work out, and I just read my book, and I just try to block out the world because it's just too much.
Yeah, I actually haven't been on Instagram a lot because of this, because I don't want to see it. Like it triggers me.
It triggers all of us.
I mean, I don't want to see it, and it's something that I used to enjoy and try to do on my free time. It's I can't even go on my favorite outlet to look, you know what I mean? To just talk shit or look at something dumb, and we just keep having it thrown in our face. That's the problem. Like if something happens again, and I'm fearful for the children that are growing up. They're just seeing people their age, kids and older men, just dying, Black people dying, and they're gonna think that's the norm.
And it's not. It's not supposed to be, yo. It's really not.
It's not the norm.
It's not.
That is not the norm.
Yes, heavy Negro spiritual side. I honestly just felt my spirit kind of taking a dip. So I'm going to pivot the conversation to something more lighthearted and fun. It's not even fun.
I can't keep talking about this anymore. It's manifesting physically for me.
It's becoming too much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read. I saw this online. It's this text conversation between a couple. Have you seen this text conversation that I'm about to pull up? It's between a bae and another bae, I suppose. Would you like to read? Would you like to read the role of bae? Do you know do you see the note? The note is it's in our notes.
Which bae? What, gray or blue?
You will read the gray, and I will be the person in blue.
Okay.
So let's read through this text conversation. It's now ignorant theater. We're gonna read. We're gonna read the text, and then we're gonna break it down. So please.
And
action.
Bae, I never ask you for nothing, but will you be able to loan me $25 to help pay my light bill? I pay you back Friday.
Ask your baby daddy. That's not my responsibility. His child stays with you. He should help you with those bills.
Yeah, but my baby daddy already gave me $225 2 days ago, and I had to pay my cable and internet with that.
It wouldn't hurt him to give you $25 more. If he don't, just threaten child support. I bet he'll do it then.
Okay, babe, I'm gonna ask him then.
Okay, I love you. Can't wait to come home and make love to you. Sorry.
Okay, babe, I love you too.
I'm sorry. I broke
Hard eyes,
character.
kissy face.
I had to break
And
character. I'm sorry.
scene. Horrible, horrible,
Ah!
horrible audition.
What type of
Wait,
relationships are y'all motherfuckers getting into? What was that? What was that? Can you tell me what that text conversation was? You
that's
know what,
in the storm.
let's break it down. Because when I saw this text exchange, I just thought about the worth in relationships when it comes to different people and different parties involved. First and foremost, let's give some names. You know what we do here. We give people names. So let's give some names here. Who's the name of the person in gray?
Gray's Latrice.
Latrice. Okay.
Latrice.
I'm giving the guy in blue Jamel. Latrice and Jamel. Okay. Now that we have names, now we can have some fun. So Latrice is asking Jamel for money, and Jamel responds, ask your baby daddy. So already the child's already being used as a mechanism of hate. And first of all, how do you not have 25 bucks? This is the number one answer. Damn, you don't have 25 bucks to lend your girl to help pay a bill? Waste man. Anyway, so the first consensus is that Jamel is a waste man. So now he says, yes,
I agree.
ask your baby daddy. That's not my responsibility. His child stays with you. He should help you with those bills. Now, Latrice responds, my baby daddy already gave me money and I had to pay that. Now he says it wouldn't hurt the baby daddy to give him 25. So my thing is, what are you good for? And the answer is
to make love.
Oh no,
to come home and make love.
You're supposed to say absolutely nothing.
Oh, so no,
Okay.
he definitely his support system says, okay, I love you, which is a verbal, emotional support. And I can't wait, which means he prioritizes her first to come home and make love to you. And that's where the physical touch comes in. So maybe that's her love language. And this is why they're a match.
No. I love what you're trying to do there. You're trying to be an attorney to this young Jamel man. But no. He is guilty. And I'll tell you why. Because this fool, oh my God, it's so disgusting. First of all, you don't have $25. Second of all, you're now pitting it on the baby daddy to now have to take care of. What are you just good for dick and disappointment? What are you good for? Are you just good for dick and good times? What is this person's role in this person?
Might not even be a good time. Just
the man said, I love you, can't wait to come home and make love to you. Who says that? Oh my gosh.
That's Hollywood talk. You didn't know that?
It's future talk. That's what it is. It's future talk. It's dirty and disgusting. Yo, I saw this shit and
but this occurs more often than what goes on. You know that, right?
Of course it happens more often. But my thing is, why would this person, this Latrice person has to deal with Jamel not taking any response? Fam, if you're with somebody.
The fact that, for me, Latrice has given Jamel too much info. I don't know the content or the extent of their relationship. I don't know if they're in a relationship or if he's just side dick. But the fact that he knows that her baby dad gives her money is shit, weird, don't you think? And that he knows that he can give him more money. That's weird. Why are you watching somebody else's
pockets?
Money? Yeah.
Jamel in this case is
he knows too much.
Well, outside of him knowing too much, he's now, once again, clearly when it comes to him and her child and all that stuff, he is so far removed. Mm-hmm. Not his business, not his problem.
He steals the Capri Sun, steals the fruit snacks, all of that jazz.
He is a fruit snack snatcher. That's what he is. This is ridiculous. And the thing is, this is a real conversation. This is not like make believe or let's play
Make
a scenario.
believe.
It's not make believe. This is real. And once again,
It's a real screenshot. Yep.
Latrice in this case should absolutely understand her worth. If you are going to lay with a guy, or if you're going to be with somebody who is so excited to just want to lay with you and make love to you or whatever, and they can't even help you pay a lickle bill. A lickle bill. It's not like she was asking him, yo, can you lend me $300? My baby daddy couldn't pay whatever this month because of some bullshit. $25.
That Uber Eats charges more than that for a delivery fee. The 25 alone, not even the food. Just the 25 alone.
It's just giving me, once again, I'm here for pussy and good times and I'm out. And I really, I mean, we don't know these scenarios, but based on this conversation is that now at the end of the day, is it the responsibility for this young lady to understand her worth, or is it the responsibility of, I don't know, I don't want to put the onus on her to say like she should know her worth and get the fuck out of there, because at the end of the day, she's clearly accepting of this guy's input into her business.
Well,
right?
I don't know. Maybe she was just trying to fish and see if he will give her money.
And the mind-boggling part is that he says, yo, if he doesn't give you the money, just threaten him with child support. The fuck is going, what?
Yeah, that was he knows too much, that's what I'm saying. A lot of ammunition. Either Latrice is trying to just see if she could get some money out of him. Because one, $25 is kind of low. You know what I mean? And then you do the build up. You do the build up to see. Maybe it was a test. You don't know. And then she's like, all right, cool. Now I know. Maybe it was a test.
I would hope it's a test. And if that's the case, Jamel big failed. -0. -F. F-.
Because she didn't even say what she needed it for. She just asked for $25. And
well, she did say what she needed it for. If she didn't say what she needed it for and he responded that way, that's a different story. But she specifically said, yo, I need this for a bill. And dude was like, nah, man, that ain't my problem. That's your baby daddy problem. Go ahead.
I hope it was a test.
But even if it wasn't,
shit. I wouldn't fuck him if he can't give me $25. Like, come on. Don't make love to me.
But she was very ready to. You saw the heart eye emoji. You saw the kissing.
And the kissy face. Yep, the kissy face too. Sometimes you just get digmatized and you don't know. She young. Let her get some experience.
I mean, she already has a child, so that's not even the case here. It's just a matter that, it's just dirty. Men are dirty. This is a dirty example of everyone should know their worth in relationships. And in this case, this Latrice person she should know her worth, but at the same time, if she is accepting or she just accepts this, then who are we outside to judge that? We don't know the relationship. We don't know what's going on. And mind you, I'm literally just taking a screen grab of a text conversation and analyzing it or making it bigger than what it is.
You sound like my mom.
But in the same tune, once again, though this is just one conversation, it bleeds into something more, right? It bleeds into different relationships or people in different relationships that may be going through something like this. And how do you respond to that, right? And once again, I would never blame the person who, in this case, seems like they don't know their worth. I would never blame them for not step up and say like, what the fuck? Like, how do you not go, like you can lay with me, but you can't give me $25? Like I would never do that. But in the same tune, it's unfortunate that she is being treated this way by this dude who clearly has every excuse in the book to not provide for her financially.
I'm going to give Latrice more credit than that and think she's smarter than that. And it was a test. Even if whatever, because I don't know what bill is $25, but I think it was a test to see where things would be going, if the dick would be that good enough, and if she could get a little extra cash monies out of it.
All right.
I'm gonna say she's a little bit smarter than that.
I agree, and I would hope so as well, because no one should have to deal with that shit.
Mhm.
Nobody.
For someone who does not want to sing, you sang a lot in this episode. I'm just
That was,
putting that out
as I
there.
said, special situations. I just trickle it in there. So yeah, not all the time though. Wow. I am reading on, yeah. So so yeah, I mean that's pretty much that scenario. I really needed to take that tangent away from what we were talking about earlier because it was just a lot, and my heart was just my heart couldn't take it. So thank you all for listening and indulging at least that part of this episode because I hope that at least got you some laughs or at least a shake of the head because yikes, things
Yeah.
are things are rough out here, yo. Things are big rough, and I just want everyone to be able to take care of themselves, be safe. If anything, this is just a very long PSA to just to take care of yourself, not step away if you have to, and you know, don't indulge in the bullshit. Actually, speaking of that, we have a question. We have a question from Reddit today. So, yeah, this question is from Reddit user, and the question goes: am I allowed to feel offended? Ooh, so it's going to be something very spicy.
That never goes well.
Oh, it never ends well, ladies and gentlemen. When someone asks us, should I be offended? More than likely, 99,000% of the time, it's
99,000.
you should be big offended. But let's give this person the benefit of the doubt and let's read the question, shall we? So today, one of my quote unquote good friends, oh boy, we're already quoting the word good. That's not good. So today, one of my good friends wrote a note saying, ew, it's so hideous. It's black. Its hands are cracked too. But this isn't the first incident. He's constantly telling me I'm dark and black. I mean, it's the truth. I'm black, but I can't help but feel offended. What do you think? Please give me advice or an answer. I feel really upset about it. I think he might be colorist. Okay. Well, Rove, you heard it. This person feels offended because their quote unquote good friend continuously describes things as black and cracked and hideous. So do you think that this person is allowed to feel offended by their friend and their responses?
Of course. Big time. Why would you? How is that your friend? And you talking
Or
so negatively? Well,
quote,
okay,
you
quote
quoted good.
unquote. Yeah.
Now remember last episode I was talking about toxic friendships. So this person more than likely has a very toxic friendship with this person.
Maybe it's a friend of me kind of thing. Yep, you're right. And no,
Frenemy, like, okay, it's really like, yes, I know the term frenemy, I know what it means. But are frenemies really friends? Or they're just people that you allow in your circle because you've known each other for a long time, but you're not really friends? Because frenemies is a weird thing. It's weird. Like, why would you allow someone who
because I don't have frenemies, so I wouldn't know. I cut people off real quick. Like if somebody told me that, I'm black, cracked, whatever, I'm like, yo, I'm checking you right then and there. I'm feeling offended and I'm also checking you. But I don't think that, frenemies, frenemies for me, I feel like if something happened that's dire outside of like the frenemy dynamic, they will do something for you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This aspect of quote unquote friendship, it doesn't even sound like they hang out together. You know what I mean?
I don't know. The
Maybe
answer,
they're friends of friends.
either way, regardless of what relationship or friendship you have with this person, the answer is that if you feel offended, the answer is you should feel offended. You are offended. And it doesn't matter what type of friendship you have with this person. Yeah, if it's offensive or if you feel offended by it, it's offensive, period. And this person's not your friend if they constantly do this shit and they're
But
making you
isn't
feel
that
bad.
what frenemies do though? They kind of like poke the bear. They kind of take like little jabs
But then
and
what makes them friends?
snarky comments. like you said,
enemy.
they've been through the struggle.
That's
I
called an
feel
enemy. That's just
like
an enemy, period. If someone is taking
like
unnecessary
you
jabs
grew
at
up,
me,
like, all right, you grew up with somebody on the block, whatever, y'all know each other from whatever, y'all hang out together. But there's always been this like internal competition or something like that.
then that person needs therapy, because I am not competing with anyone that I don't know I'm competing with. And now you're throwing these sub jabs at me.
But
and I'm not paying attention.
frenemies know that they're in competition. You don't think so?
There's a
This
difference
seems
between,
like a whole other this seems like a whole nother topic. So
sure. The answer
yeah.
is Reddit user, your friend's trash, and they're big colorist, and low key, high key, every key racist. That's it.
And jealous. Yeah.
Break up with that person, or block them, or do whatever. And that's the answer there. If you all have any other questions for us, please send them to sophigpodcast@gmail.com. Because we will sit on this platform and tell you if your friend's being colorist or racist or not. That's just what we do here. We're experts at this point. All right. Well, that is it. That's all I have in the tank for this episode. How are you feeling, Rove?
Gassed out. Gassed out.
I thought you were going to say gassy.
Wow. I kind of feel like we're frenemies because
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. No. We're not frenemies. We're not enna friends, or whatever you want to call enna friends, or all right, I'll try to make up word. Doesn't matter. The point is,
you are not good at the game anagrams anyway, so I'm not even gonna call you out. I was like, why is he trying? He does not do well with anagrams, but here we are. That's fine.
Nonetheless, the point is that, this episode was a lot, just talking about all these things, but I hope that we all have just a good week ahead. And, sometimes, once again, you just have to get some shit off your chest. So this is us getting that shit off this chest. We promise that we'll have other fun topics coming up, because, once again, talking about all the things that we talked about earlier is heavy and a lot, and we do need time to decompress and gather our spirits and gather ourselves, because our ancestors did not intend our lives to be this way. So we need to follow suit.
I didn't do this for Gertrude. She had better for me.
Yes, Edith and Anime did not want this for my life. Not at all. So
Goodbye.
I'm just saying, they did not.
Goodbye. I'm done with you.
Anyway, so make sure to catch the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. Find me and Rovie on our respective social media platforms and follow us and send us memes, or just slide in our DMs and say, hey, what up, or not. Or you could just slide in the DM and say nothing. That'd be also fun too. We accept blank responses. Make sure to, once again, if you want to ask us a question, sophigpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to be a guest on the show, the same email, please. We are looking for people to chat with, people of all walks of life and all races and creeds. No one's going to be colorist here. I'll guarantee you that. So please, if you're interested in being on the show and sharing your piece and being a little bit sophisticated and a little bit ignorant with us, then please shoot us an email and we will get back to you. And that's it for me.
This was good.
It was nice to get it off our chest once again.
Yeah, it was good.
Granted, we did that last episode, but
and prior.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, we're constantly.
But we're getting there. We're getting there. That was the point of this.
We're constantly getting shit off our chest. That's the answer here. I mean, if anything, this podcast has become one very long. It's become a hodgepodge of therapeutic motions. So there it is. But anyway,
and we need it now.
We need it now more than ever. And I hope everyone listening could just rock with us and appreciate us getting our shit off. And also, I just hope that you're able to do the same thing in your own inner circles and just, find a comfortable, safe circle of people to vent to. So there's that. All right, y'all. We will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, have a great week.
Have a beautiful week.
Have an amazing week.
Have a stupendous week.
Have an extraordinary week.
Have a super fragilistic expialidocious week.
That doesn't make any sense. You lose. All right.
Wait. Oh, ooh. Disney, come get him.
What do you mean Disney? What are you talking about Disney? Disney got nothing to do with this. You said it all weird?
Wow. I did not want to get us because we don't own the rights to the actual phrase. So we can't really say it without, shut
definitely
up.
Can. You definitely can.
Goodbye. All right. Have a good week, guys.
You're acting like a friend of me, and I don't like it.
You're going to have a great
big
week.
friend of me right now.
And everybody out that's listening, I want you to walk on the safe side. Thank you guys for listening.
You're a big friend of me, and I don't like it.
You always got to get the last word. I'm sick
of you. Absolutely.
No, negative. Goodbye.
Definitely sophisticated ignorance, and I'm fucking with it.